everybody, welcome back to another edition of Design with me, Ashley D. And today we are going to go over the tips, tricks, and budget for your New Orleans Mardi Gras vacation. So let's get started. And for those of you celebrating Mardi Gras, happy Mardi Gras! And I first have to share with you that that's not even half of the beads that we collected during the parades of Mardi Gras. I mean, we just had so much fun. Parades from trying to catch the beads. I mean, they throw things like these tambourines that light up out. We got swords for our son, and we also got swords for my nephews so they can have little toys. They also throw out little light up balls. I mean, they throw out everything. It's just so much fun to be in those parades and to experience it. So if you haven't experienced a Mardi Gras parade, you have to experience one, because once you go to these other parades, you're like, I don't get anything for being here. You know, they're not throwing anything out at you. You're just like, Every parade needs to be like a Mardi Gras parade, where they have these little fun things that they throw out and these beads that they throw out at the Mardi Gras parades. So before we get started today on this video, let's take care of a few housekeeping items. First things first, I just want to thank you all for watching my videos, for liking them, and for supporting them. And I just have to say that we are almost to 1,000 views. Woo! And right now we have 38 followers. So I would like to see maybe if by April 1st we can get to 50 followers. So tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your sisters, tell your brother, tell everybody to come to my page, look at my videos, and if they like what they're seeing, like the videos, and if they want to see more content from me, definitely tell them to subscribe. And if you have any questions about anything, or you would like to see a how to do something video, of course, just shoot me an email anytime. I would love to see your requests for videos. And if you would like to collab on videos, definitely let me know. I'm all open to collaborating on these videos as well. First things first, I'm going to go over 5 tips for your Mardi Gras vacation with you all. And in between those tips, I also have little tricks that will help you out with those tips as well. So let's get started. First tip is research. Research. Open and close times for everything that you want to do for Mardi Gras. That goes from eating at different places, that goes to visiting different places, because everywhere has different open and close times during Mardi Gras. So you want to make sure during Mardi Gras that you are aware of when they're going to be open and when they are going to be closed. And I would go as far as to calling different places to make sure that they're going to be open during the time that you want to visit. Tip number 2, if you're a parade goer like we were this Mardi Gras, you want to make sure that you download at least one parade tracker. These parade trackers, they let you know exactly where the parade is at, if you have to go use the bathroom or grab a bite to eat, how much time that you will have in between the parades, or if you're waiting on the next parade, how much time you have to go and either use the bathroom or grab a bite to eat. And also it lets you know if you want to see a particular parade, it lets you know exactly which parade is coming up next, and it also lets you know of the parade schedules as well. And the one that we used is the news station down there. It's called Wdsu is the parade tracker that we used, and that's a part of the news station that's down there. And to me, I feel like that's one of the best ones that they have, because you can actually see the little car and them waving as they go by tracking the parade. So I thought it was pretty cool that they actually had a car in each parade tracking where it's going. Tip number 3. I cannot stress this enough. Make sure you bring your own tissue for the bathroom. So you bring your own tissue for a number of different reasons. For one, a lot of what I encountered when I was down there was that a lot of the bathrooms were out of tissue because it was so many people using them, and the attendants didn't have enough time to go in and out of the bathrooms to make sure that the tissue was fully stocked in the bathrooms. So that's for one. The second thing is that a lot of times when you go into these public restrooms, they just toss the next roll on top of the tissue dispenser or on the back of the toilet. And we all know, that is so nasty, and we don't want to use that roll of tissue, because we know a lot of times when somebody gets done using that roll, it either falls on the floor or falls in the toilet, and that's just not something that we want to use on our bodies. So ladies, make sure, and fellas, that you have your own tissue. A little trick for your own tissue is that you can bring the little packs like I do, Or you can get the roll of tissue from your hotel room, because they supply you with as much tissue as you need for your hotel room. So you can either carry around the roll if you have enough room in your backpack, or you can take the tissue off of the roll and just kind of wad it up or put it maybe in a container or maybe in the zip part of your either backpack or purse. So that way you'll have that tissue for when you need to use the restroom when you're out. And of course, re-up whenever you go back to the room. So that's my tip and my trick for tissue. Moving right along to tip number 4. Don't wait until the last minute to use the bathroom. You heard me.
Don't wait
until the last minute to use the restroom. This reasoning or this tip is self-explanatory. A lot of the parade goers want to use the bathroom, and a lot of the businesses that are along the parades know this. So they either have no access to public restrooms, or you either have to buy a meal or buy something in order to use the restroom. If you're like me and have to use the bathroom 3 or 4 times during the parade day, you don't want to have to buy a meal every single time you have to go to the bathroom, especially if you have to use the bathroom frequently. So I have a trick for you all. The first trick is to get a hotel on the parade route so you can use the bathroom. You can go in and out of the lobby and use the bathroom at your hotel, and you can stand right outside and watch the parade. If you're like me and you have to use the bathroom several times, you can go back and forth and you don't have to walk blocks in order to get to a bathroom. Another trick is a lot of the hotels, especially the big name hotels, they want you to come in and they want you to see what they got or to see what they're working with, right? So when you come in, a lot of them, especially the big hotels, will let you use their restroom because they want you to see what they're working with, because they want you to say, next time I want to stay here. This hotel is nicer than the one I'm staying at, so I want to stay at this hotel. So we noticed too that a lot of them want you to gravitate inside their hotel to use the restroom or to use the facilities to see what they're working with, so that way maybe you would want to stay there next time instead of the hotel you are currently staying at. Another trick that I have for you using the bathroom is if you're going to buy something, let's just say you wanted a light snack, or it's time for lunch or dinner, or you're even eating breakfast on the parade route, you can ask for what's called a bathroom voucher, and that will let you use the bathroom all day at that particular location. So if you know that you're going to post up for the parade close by that particular restaurant, or even post up outside of that particular restaurant, definitely get a bathroom voucher, which clears you to use the bathroom all day at that particular location. Because I wanted to mention as well, a lot of the restaurants and a lot of the places around there on the parade route, they also charge to use the bathroom. And this particular restaurant that we dined at for lunch that day happened to be charging $2 every time you went to the bathroom. They had public restrooms, but they charged $2. So in order to circumvent that, if you buy something, you can ask for that bathroom voucher. So if you have to use the bathroom as much as I do, then that will certainly come in handy, especially if your meal was $10. If you go 4 or 5 times during that parade, you will have more than paid for your meal. So now we are up to tip number 5. Tip is very essential when it comes to leaving and arriving at your hotel. If your hotel was like ours, we stayed at the Intercontinental New Orleans, and our hotel happened to be on the parade route. So if you get so lucky like us and have a hotel on the parade route, then you will run into what we call blocks, roadblocks, lots and lots of roadblocks. They block off the street. Even our hotel had the gate to block off their driveway so no one could drive into the hotel as the parade was going on. And I mean, it's just a total nightmare if you're trying to get in and out of your hotel to make it to your flight on time, or if you're trying to get into your hotel to check in by a certain time. So make sure that when you arrive and when you leave New Orleans, it is before the parade starts. And most parades start around 11, and I will say they start blocking off the streets around 10:30. And your hotel is on the parade route, you want to make sure you either arrive by 10 or leave before 10 o'clock in the morning. Everything that you can think of happens on those New Orleans streets, and you definitely don't want to be dragging your personal belongings down the street. I did want to share a quick little story about what we encountered while we were in New Orleans. I'm giving you this tip because this is what has actually happened to me. Of course, when we left New Orleans, we left during a time where a parade was going on. They had the streets blocked off, so we had to walk, thankfully, 2 blocks over to catch our Uber. During our journey over to catch our Uber, we saw a lady. She had her head sticking out of the vehicle and she was throwing up as they were driving down the street. Luckily, she didn't start throwing up until after she had passed us. But just imagine if she would have thrown up before, we would have had to roll our suitcase in that. So that's just another thing to think of. Make sure that you arrive and leave before the parade starts. So now we're going to move on to budgeting. First, we're going to talk about the flight, then we're going to talk about the hotel. We're going to end the budget segment of this video with talking about how you can get around. Booking your flight, you want to make sure that you use and compare 2 separate search engines. The first one I used is googleflights.com and the second one I used is skyscanner.com, and I will have those linked below in the description bar. So Google, of course, they do everything from booking flights to cars and hotels. So I definitely use them to kind of get a gauge on pricing for flights. Now they have all of the major flight carriers and their prices. The only one that they do not list is Southwest. Once you get your gauge for pricing for Google Flights from all of the other major carriers, then you could take that information on over to Southwest and compare the prices with Southwest. For this trip, we flew with Southwest because they were a lot cheaper than a lot of the other airlines. Skyscanner is another budget flight, can't talk today, budget flight friendly website. It'll show you the cheapest month for that flight, and it will also show you the cheapest days in that month for that particular flight. And Google Flights does this as well. I mean, they show you different pricing for that particular month, and then they also show you the cheapest days that you can fly as well. So those 2 are the best 2 search engines that I would recommend you look up your flights for your trips. The next thing is for hotels. I recommend you using one search engine, and also I recommend you using the hotel website. You're like, Ashley, the hotel website? That's insane. That's the last place you want to go to try to find a deal. Wrong. A lot of times with the hotel website, you can get other perks that you will not get with the other search engines like Travelocity and Orbitz. So if you go directly through the hotel website, a lot of times if you sign up for their memberships, you can gain points for other free stays. You can also get other perks like either free breakfast if you're a member, or you can upgrade your room if you're a member. If you book early enough in advance and you're a member, you can also get a discount on the price of your room. So you just want to kind of look at those options and compare those to other search engine prices like Travelocity and like an Orbitz to see where you're getting your most bang for your buck. But I would first start with the hotel website to see what they're running. And also too, if you're like me and you're a AAA member, those discounts also come in handy. And of course, if you're a AAA member, plus let's just say you're a Hilton Honors member, you can get the points for your Hilton Honors member, and you can save with your AAA membership as well. So it's like a 2-for-1 special. And lastly, the last budgeting tip that I have is surrounding how to get around in New Orleans. And I must say this, do not, come a little closer, do not never rent a car in New Orleans. If you are going to be downtown New Orleans and that's the only place you're going to be, and let's just say you want to venture off for maybe one little trip, do not rent a car. Reason why I say do not rent a car, you will have that car parked the whole time and you will be paying $20-something a day to have that car just sitting there because you will not move it. For one, if you are going during Mardi Gras, the parades are going on, and if you don't get your car out by a certain time, then you're never going to be able to get your car out of that garage to be able to go where you want to go anyway. It's one tip. And then 2, if you are traveling to New Orleans for Mardi Gras, you're going to want to stay downtown and do a lot of the stuff, a lot of the parades, a lot of the stuff off of Bourbon Street, the waterfront, and to the outlet, and to different places around the French Quarters. So you want to make sure that you do not rent a car. Now you're probably asking me, Ashley, well, if I don't rent a car, how am I going to get to and from the airport to catch my flight, right? So I have a little tidbit for you. Like most people are doing now, you want to either use Uber or Lyft. And right now, Lyft has a 25% off of their price for new members. And if you're an existing member and you haven't used Lyft in a while, they also have 25% off for us as well. So that's a little tidbit to use for Lyft. Now, I have one more trick up my bag as far as how to get around for Mardi Gras. Last trick is that a lot of these cab companies, their business is suffering because of companies like Uber and Lyft. So what they'll try to do is they will try to figure out what it is that you're paying for your Uber or your Lyft flight, and they will try to come either right at or directly underneath the price that was quoted to you through Uber or through Lyft. So that's another way you can try to get around the same price or a cheaper price for a cab company, especially if you're not quite comfortable with traveling with Uber or Lyft and you're more comfortable with traveling with these cab companies. So that's a little trick for the cab companies. They're gonna ride around and they're gonna see you with your suitcase and they're gonna be like, hey, I could do better than your Uber or your Lyft driver. How much are they charging? They're charging me $35, and they'll say, okay, I could charge you $34 and get you to the airport now. Your Uber or Lyft driver is not present now. I am, come ride with me, your cab driver, for $34 instead of $35 with your Uber or your Lyft. And I just wanted to say, as a bonus to this video, I've included a lot of the things that we did down there while we were in Mardi Gras, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video.
All carry-on items securely stowed, and once we arrive at the gate, we're going to come to complete and a safe.
Oh my gosh, the Banana Foster. I so love the Banana Foster from Brennan's. That is a go-to for a nice light snack. Actually, we started breakfast there, but I mean, it's just so good. Gumbo Shop. This is by far my favorite restaurant in New Orleans, and they have the best gumbo. You have to go there, and I would recommend you getting to the Gumbo Shop early because there is a line. Oh, it's a first come first serve line type of atmosphere. You are going to love it. Stand in that line. I love this restaurant so much to where I want to purchase a cookbook now. So yes, the Gumbo Shop, I am going to purchase that cookbook that you all advertised on your menu. Thank you. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for liking my videos. Thank you for all the beautiful comments and for all the feedback. And let's continue to bang out 2020 with a blast. This is a phenomenal band that we saw during the parade, and I will take it away now.